Okay, so it's live now. I'm gonna make you host again.
Sounds good.
Sure, and just to let you know, Phil is gonna be your TA. He's gonna be joining you soon.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And you've gone ahead and you've made me, oh, there we go. There we go. All righty. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to admit we have a bunch of people coming in. Let's admit them all. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Let's go ahead. I'm just going to set something up really quickly. All right. Okay. Just needed to set something up. We're all good. Let's see. We have, hi, Nancy,
Hi.
Karen, Maureen. I have Jesse, Thomas, Gail. Hello, Thomas. Hi, Gail.
Hello.
Hi. I am going to launch a quick survey. You'll see it on your screen. And this just helps give me an idea of just the background level that folks have with Zoom, just so I can take a quick pulse of the class. So feel free to just answer. And we also have, excuse me, we also have Kevin with us today. He's with our support team at Get Set Up. And thank you, Kevin. Kevin's going to be helping to monitor our chat room and help us out if there are any other technical snafus that people are experiencing.
Hi everyone, how are you doing today?
So it looks like most folks here have been working on Zoom a little bit. Some feel that they could use some extra help, which is always good. More help is better. Some folks may be looking for new tips. Yay. Okay. All right. I'm just going to end our polling. Thanks for taking the survey. I'm going to go ahead and get started. We'll probably have some folks joining us. Miriam says she's like, I'm a little familiar. That's great. I'm just going to share my screen for a few moments, and then we're just going to hop right in. And let me know if anyone is having any problems with connecting, whether it's with their microphone. Looks like everyone has been able to connect. And we'll talk about cameras. All right, let me go ahead and share my screen for a moment. And first of all, welcome everyone. My name is Vicki. I'm your Get Set Up guide. And I'm calling in from San Jose, California. That's in Northern California in the heart of Silicon Valley. And a little bit about me. I worked in high tech for 30 years doing a number of different things, from technical support to technical training and instructional design. I've had the honor of teaching folks from around the world, teaching people who are very technical, but also teaching people who are not so technical, who are similar to you folks who are just maybe starting to dip their toes into this world of technology. And for me, being a guide with Get Set Up allows me to do what I love, and that's educate folks about technology. So that's just a little bit about me. I have some housekeeping details to get out of the way today before we dive in. And I'm going to show folks how you can turn your cameras on and off. And we love it if you do turn your cameras on. That way we can see you, you can see everyone. It's really just a nice environment, but I understand if folks are just a little camera shy these days. I don't require it, but I love it if people do this. And oh, hi, Michael. Michael's here also from our our support team. The other thing that I wanted to let you know is today's class is being recorded, and you can get a copy of the recording simply by emailing us at helpgetsetup.io. And I'm just going to mute folks, just a little background noise there. So that's helpitgetsetup.io. If you are joining us via live stream today, welcome. We love it when folks join us via live stream, and just know you can hear and see everything that we're doing in class today. But I always recommend that folks register for our classes, and that way you can fully participate with us in class. And lastly, Get Set Up is a learning organization. We are not paid to promote any products or services. We don't get any fees. We don't get any, commissions, anything like that. So that's just a little bit about us. And let's go ahead and just jump right in. Today, we're going to be covering the basics for Zoom. So this is a beginner class. We're going to be pushing all of the buttons, tapping on icons all at the same time. If you get stuck, just let me know. If you have any questions, again, feel free to unmute yourself when I show folks how to unmute themselves. Or when I show you how to use the chat, you can also enter your questions in the chat. And we're going to be talking a little bit about how you use different controls on the participant screen and going over some Zoom etiquette tips. And with that, I'm going to stop my share. And let's go ahead and just get started. So the first thing that I want everybody to do is get comfortable turning their cameras, their video on and off. And if you're on a laptop today or a desktop, a PC, if you go down to the bottom of your screen, you may have to wiggle your mouse a little bit to activate your Zoom control bar. At the bottom of your Zoom control bar, you'll see towards the left-hand side, there is an icon that looks like a video camera. If your video is currently turned on, and you know that because you look at your video, you look at your screen and you see your video picture, that's how you know your camera is on. If you want to turn that off, you just click on stop video. If you want to turn your camera on, you will click on start video. And if anyone is on a tablet today, if you tap on the top of your tablet, that's how you're going to activate your Zoom control bar. And on your Zoom control bar, you will see that start video or stop video. It depends if your video is currently on or off. And so I'm going to ask everybody just to, click and tap on stop video, start video, see what it's like to turn your camera on and off, because that's an important skill to know when you're working with Zoom. And let me know if you have any questions, if you're having any problems. All right, so it looks like we've done a pretty good job being able to turn our cameras on and off, looking good. The next thing I want to show everyone is making sure you get comfortable turning your microphones on and off, muting and unmuting. So you always know if your microphone is muted if you look on your screen and on your little video display square on the lower left-hand corner of that video display. If you are muted, you will see a little red microphone with a slash going through that. So that always tells you that you're currently muted. And to unmute yourself, what you'll do is for laptop PC users, you'll go down to the bottom of your screen, excuse me, and again, you may need to wiggle your mouse a little bit, activate that Zoom control bar at the bottom where you'll see your, I'm just gonna mute everybody, where you see your Zoom control bar. And all the way on the left-hand side, you will see your mute or unmute icon. And so it looks like a little microphone. And if you're muted, it will have a slash going through it. So you can click on mute or unmute to unmute yourself, mute yourself. If you're on a tablet today, again, if you tap on the top of your screen, that's how you will activate your Zoom control bar. And for anybody, excuse me, on a phone today, a smartphone, if you tap on the bottom of your screen, that's where your Zoom control bar lives.
Vicky, this is Michael
Hi,
from
Michael.
Support. I'm your TA, your assistant. Would you mind making me a co-host so that I can moderate the
Sure
chat for you?
thing. Sure thing, Michael. Let's get you going. Sorry about that.
No worries. I was just waiting for you to finish up.
I said hello and then.
Yeah, I got that. Thanks.
And so it looks like we've been doing a pretty good job of muting, unmuting. And let me know if you have any questions. This brings me to our Zoom etiquette tips. So I have 2 tips that I like to share with my classes. The first has to do with our microphone. So when you join a Zoom meeting, and I'm not talking about if you're in a meeting with friends or family, but a more formal meeting like the one we're on today, when you join a Zoom meeting, it's always a good practice to mute yourself, to mute your microphone. And that's because, we're trying to be considerate of others. We have a lot of background noise going on now. People are coming into the room to talk to us. The dogs are barking, phones are ringing. And so it's always a good practice when you join a Zoom meeting, go ahead and, click on the mute button or tap on the mute button, mute your microphone. And so let's everybody do that. I'd like everybody to mute their microphone, whether you're tapping on that mute button. So let's practice muting. And let me know if you have any trouble finding your mute button. Okay, Carolyn, are you okay to find your mute button?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to ask everybody to mute themselves to cut down. How about Galaxy S7? Have you been able to mute yourself? Oh, okay. And let me know if you can't find your mute button.
Oh, I'm on my computer.
Okay, so what you'll do is you'll go down to the bottom of your screen.
Yeah, I got the mute. It's off.
I'd like you to
It's
tap
on mute.
It's on, tap on the mute button because I can still hear your microphone on. So tap on it or click on it. Now you're muted. All right, Barbara, you're good. And so that's how we mute ourselves. And that's the first etiquette tip. The other etiquette tip has to do with our cameras. So if you need to step away from a Zoom meeting for a moment, whether you need to answer the door, or you need to let the dogs out, whatever it is, the tip is it's always a good practice to stop your video. And this is if you need to go ahead and mute your, excuse me, if you need to step away. So you will stop your video, make sure you're on mute, and then step away from your Zoom meeting, do whatever it is you need to do. Then when you come back, you can click on start video to start your camera and either stay on mute or unmute yourself. And so those are two good Zoom practices to get in the habit of doing when you're on a Zoom meeting, when you're on a Zoom call. Again, it's just to be considerate of other participants, especially, you know, if you're joining a Zoom call that has lots of participants. It can get pretty noisy out there. And so those are the Zoom etiquette tips. And let me know if you have any questions. Next thing we're going to talk about is using the chat. You may join a Zoom call, Zoom meeting where there are lots of participants, or maybe the host is doing more of a presentation type of a class, and they may have disabled your ability to unmute yourself. And instead, what they may say to you is, folks, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the chat. And so what we need to do is figure out, how do we get to the chat? And when we open it, how do you leave a question, or how do you type out a message? And so if you're on a PC today, a laptop or desktop, again, you'll go down to the bottom of your screen, and on your Zoom control bar, towards the middle, you will see an icon that says chat. You can click on the chat icon. If you're on a tablet today, or even a smartphone, on your Zoom control bar, you'll see a button or an icon that has 3 dots on it. That's your More button. If you tap on that More button, there's a menu that drops down. That's where you'll see chat. You can just type or tap on your chat. And so what we're seeing here is if you're on a laptop or on a PC, your chat window will open up all the way to the right-hand side of your screen. It's a white chat window. You may see messages already from folks. Some people have already been typing in greetings. And what I'd like everyone to do is in order to type out a message or send a message, on the very bottom of your chat screen, you will see where it says type message here, or if you're on a tablet or a smartphone, it will say tap here to start typing your message. What I'd like you to do is tap or click in that area at the very bottom of your chat window and type out a greeting. Let me know where you're calling in from today. If you're on a laptop or a desktop, once you finish typing out your message, what you'll need to do is press the Enter key on your keyboard in order to send that message to the chat. If you're on a tablet or a smartphone, you'll just need to tap on the Send button, and it's a round blue button with, it looks like a white paper airplane. And if you tap on that, that will send your message to the chat. And so I always say this is my favorite part of class because I get to see where people are calling in from. We have North Carolina, Michigan, Virginia, Maryland, some more California folks, Connecticut, Brooklyn, New York. I was born in Brooklyn. And more Michigan. Wow, I love it. I love it. This is great. Thank you. And let me know if you've had any problems entering in a message or sending a message to the chat. You can always unmute yourself and let me know if you have any questions. We have some folks from Las Vegas, probably starting to get warm there. Any questions so far about what we've done? All right, we're good. People, we're just rocking here. what we've done so far is we've sent a message, a public message to the chat window. But know that you can also send a private message to another participant. And when you do that, only that participant can see your message. No one else can. So to send a private message to someone else in the chat window, what you can do is at the bottom of your chat window where you see it says everyone. If you're on a PC, you can simply click on the everyone button. If you're on a tablet or smartphone, just tap on the word everyone. And what it's doing is it's bringing up a list of all of the participants in today's class. Now, you won't see your name because you don't send yourself messages in the chat. You send everyone else messages in the chat. So what you can do is when you click on that everyone or tap on the everyone button, you can select another person's name from the list, whether you want to select my name as the host or someone else. When you've selected their name, you can then type out your message. And again, on a PC or on a laptop, you'll press the enter key on your keyboard to send, or on a tablet, on a smartphone, you'll just tap on that blue send button. And that's how you can send a private chat message to someone. And let me know if you have any questions about this. So far, so good. I think we have experts in the class today. All right. I love it. It means that you're feeling more comfortable with Zoom. So let's keep moving on. And the way that we'll close the Zoom, or excuse me, the chat window, if you're on a PC or a laptop, you can go back down to your Zoom control bar and simply click on the chat icon. That closes your chat window. And so that we call that a toggle. So when you click on the chat icon once, it opens the chat window. If you click on it again, it closes it. If you're on a tablet or a smartphone, you can simply tap on the close button from the chat window and it will close your chat screen. And if you're on a smartphone, your chat window takes up your entire screen. I also have an iPad mini, and when I open my chat window, it pretty much sticks it in the middle of my screen. So depends on the device that you're on. Another tip that I like to give folks is once you've closed your chat window, just know that folks may be sending messages into the chat as the meeting goes on. And it's always a good idea to take a glance at your Zoom control bar because if you're on a laptop, once you've closed your chat window, if there are any new messages coming into the chat, you'll know that because on that chat icon, there'll be a red dot with a number on it. Or if you're on a tablet or a smartphone, that more button, the one with the 3 dots, that will have a red dot with a number on it. So it's always good to check your Zoom control bar throughout the meeting to see if there are any new messages that have come into the chat. And if you're on a laptop, you actually could keep your chat window open the entire time. But if you're on a different device, a smartphone or a tablet, you probably will want to close your chat window because it just takes up too much real estate right in the middle of your screen. And so that is our chat window. And let me know if you have any questions at all. I'm going to go ahead and keep moving along. Let's talk a little bit about what we can do on the participant screen. So to open up your participant screen, you'll find your Zoom control bar. Again, that may be at the bottom of your screen or you may need to tap the top of your screen. And on your Zoom control bar, you'll see an icon that says participants, and we'll have the number 19. So today we have 19 participants, which is where that number comes from. When you click or tap on the participants icon, it's going to open up your participants screen. Now on a laptop or a PC, that participant screen is going to open up all the way to the right in almost the exact same place where your chat window was. Again, if you're on a smartphone, the participants window just opens up and it blocks your it's right there, your entire screen. If you're on a tablet, it'll probably come up in the middle of your screen. And what you're seeing here is a list of all the participants in today's class. So what are some of the things that you can do here? One of the first things that is good to know about is how can you rename your video display? And that's your little, video square there. If you wanted to rename it. So for example, maybe you're using someone else's device to log on to class today and it has the other person's name, not yours. You might want to rename yourself, or maybe you're dialing in with a phone and it just says iPhone or it has your phone number. Let me show you how you can rename your video display. And what you'll do is you'll find your name in the list of participants. If you're on a laptop today or a PC desktop, as you move your mouse over your name, you'll see that there are two blue buttons to the right of your name. If you click on the More button, there's a little drop down that appears. You can simply click on Rename. If you're on a tablet or a smartphone, all you need to do is tap on your name. There's a menu that displays. You'll find the rename option in that menu. You can just tap on rename. So once you click or tap on rename, there's a little text box that opens up for you. And it says enter a new screen name. So what you can do at that point, you can use your backspace key to delete out what you currently have, and then simply type out a new or a different name, your first and or last name. I have one participant who likes to put in Cinderella, so I love that one. So whatever you would like. And some of you may have a checkbox underneath your name that says, remember this name for future meetings. If you have that, you can select it. Not everybody will have it. When you're done typing out your new display name, you can click on OK or tap on Done. And what you've done is, if you did change it, you should see the new name showing up now on your video, that little video square. Now, just know when you rename yourself in this way, it only is good for this meeting, for the duration of this meeting. Once you leave the meeting and you go into your next Zoom meeting, your video display name will go back to what it originally was. Now, for people who would like to permanently rename their video display, you'll need to go into your Zoom account profile to do that, which means you need to have a Zoom account. It's free, but right now what we've done is I've shown you how to temporarily rename your video display. Let me know if anybody has any questions about this. All right. The other thing that you can do when you have the participant screen open is you can invite others to join your Zoom meeting once it's started. So I know for me, there have been a number of times where I've been on a Zoom meeting, especially like a family meeting, and someone will say, well, where's Uncle Bob? Wasn't Bob supposed to be here? Did we forget to invite him? and I've forgotten to invite people. So how do we invite Uncle Bob? I'm going to share my screen because I want to show people what this looks like, and then I'll stop sharing because sometimes when I share my screen, it just makes it a little bit difficult for you to see your buttons. And so let's go back to where we were. Where's my launch? I said what I did. Hang on one second. I'm just going to stop the share. Let's do this again. Sorry about that. Let me do it another way. It'll just be easier for folks to see. Okay. So I'm sharing my screen. Let me bring it up a little bit. What you'll see on the lower left-hand corner of your participant screen, there's an invite button here. On the PC, if I click on the invite button, and you can do this if you have on a tablet or smartphone. The tablet and smartphone, you'll have different menu options, so I'll walk you through that. When I clicked on my invite button, I'm on a laptop, it brings up this new screen. And so basically, I'm just going to tell people, ignore everything you see here. Instead, I'm going to click on this email tab right here where my little purple pointer is. When I click on email, it brings me to another screen that's basically saying, well, which email are you currently using? Do you use Yahoo? I happen to use Gmail. Default mail is if you're not sure, if you're like, well, I don't use Gmail and I don't use Yahoo, then you're going to click on default email. It's for everything else. So I'm going to click on the Gmail option because I happen to be using Gmail. And you just give it a second or two to load. It's loading my Gmail. And what's going to happen is a brand new email message has been created for me. And there's a number of pieces of information that are put in here. One of the most important pieces of information is the link to join the Zoom meeting. And then all I need to do in the to field is I just have to type out the email address of the person, or I can type out multiple email addresses here for those folks that I would like to invite to my Zoom meeting. And then you're going to click on send. You'll let your email do its thing. Just wait a second or two. And then that screen disappears. And so I'm going to stop my share. And that's how the invite button works. Now, if you're on a tablet or a smartphone, you have slightly different choices. When you tap on your invite button, you will see a menu that says, send a message, send an email, copy the link, invite contacts. Really, the two easiest options for you are going to be tapping on, send an email, or send a message means send this information in a text message. And it works the exact same way. If you tap on send a message or send an email, it will open up another screen that contains a new email message or a text, depending upon what you've selected. And you simply have to address it at someone's email address and then send it. Any questions about using that invite button? It's a bit more. Yeah, hi.
Where will I find the invite button? Is it on the share screen?
It's on your participant screen.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay, I see it.
Yeah. And Florine, are you on a laptop today, or are you using? You are, okay. And so you'll do exactly, what I was walking you through. You'll just click on the email tab. Trust me, it's much easier to do it that way.
Okay. Thank you.
Nancy, question.
Yes. Could I, in other words, I could invite someone to this, or I have to have my own Zoom?
No, you could invite someone to join this meeting as well. You can be a participant. You don't have to be a host. Now, I will tell you that it's possible that the host of the meeting could have disabled the invite ability. and you won't be able to do it. But, typically if you're a participant, unless it's been disabled, you will have the option to click on that invite button.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions about this invite capability? Nope. Okay, just stop me if you do. I'm looking in the chat. Nope, we're all good to go. All right, what else do we want to copy? Want to cover reactions. All right, this is a fun one. So, any questions? No, we're good. Okay. The reactions button. So let's just say you joined a Zoom meeting and maybe there are lots of participants. It's a large group, or maybe we've, the presenter is presenting some slides, or, it's just going to be a large group. And what they may have done is, again, maybe disabled the ability for you to unmute your microphone. And what they might do is say, folks, if you have any questions, please raise your hand. And what they mean is a virtual hand raise. They don't mean do this. Because if you have 60 people on a Zoom call and people are doing this throughout the call to get the host's attention, it's really difficult for the host to see everybody's doing this. So this is a virtual hand raise. Let me show you how to do that. What you'll do is, if you're on a laptop or desktop today, you'll go down to the bottom where your Zoom control screen is. And on your Zoom control bar, you will see a reactions button towards the right. It looks like a little smiley face with a plus sign. If you're on a tablet or a smartphone today, on your Zoom control bar, you'll tap on that more button with the 3 dots. And so what you'll see on your laptop when you click on the reactions button, you will see in that menu another button that says raise hand. And let me know if you don't have the raise hand. If you're on the tablet or smartphone, as soon as you tap on that more button, the menu that drops down, that first option is to raise hand. So let me know if someone doesn't find their raised hand, because Zoom has moved a few things around recently. Okay, so if you
question, I don't seem to be able to see the screen. All I see is the participant screen.
You have your participant screen. Sylvia, do you have a raised hand on your participant screen?
Yes.
Okay, if you click on your raised hand, let me see if it works.
It worked before. It works.
There you go. And for those of you who don't have your raised hand under reactions, what you'll need to do is, if you go and open your participant screen, on your participant screen on the lower right-hand corner, that's where you'll see your raised hand. And it just means you're working off of a slightly older version of Zoom. Nothing's wrong. And again, Zoom moved a few things around. So, and let me know if you have any questions about the raise hand. Let me know if you still can't find it. And so what happens is, when you click on that raise hand button, it puts an icon of a hand, kind of looks like this, on your screen. And let me know, does anybody not have it? Okay. I'm just going to, there are a couple of folks that I'm going to mute. All right. When you, Barbie, do you have a question? Or no, you're good. You can unmute yourself. I wasn't sure if you were raising your hand. All right. So what does that raised hand do? Well, first of all, it lets the host know that you have a question or a comment. And so some of you may see the raised hand on your actual video screen, some may not, but as a host, I see it. And so what that tells me is I can go to, your screen and I can say, oh, Dolores, it looks like you have a question. Your hand is raised. Let me unmute you. And then I would unmute that participant. Dolores would ask her question or make her comment. And then once your question or comment has been addressed, what you want to do is lower your hand. And to do that, you can either click on your reactions button, or you can tap on that more button, or back on your participant screen, you will see the lower hand selection. And you want to lower your hand because once you've clicked on raised hand, what happens is that raised hand icon will stay on your video screen for the remainder of the meeting. And the host will keep thinking that you have a question. So they'll go back and they'll say, oh, Miriam, I see you still have your hand raised. Would you, and she just lowered it. Is there, do you have another question? And Miriam will say, no, I just forgot to, lower my hand. So it's important that you lower your hand because then the host will just keep asking you, oh, is there a question or do you have a comment? And so that's why it's always good to do the lower hand. Now, the host can always lower your hand for you, but it's a good practice. And so that is the virtual raised hand.
Okay, that's unmuted.
Calvin, did you have a question?
Calvin.
No, I'm just tuning. I'm having trouble, but tuning into the class, but I'm just not getting.
Okay. Calvin, are you having problems with your camera? Because I can hear you. Your audio's turned on.
Is this the sixth question?
Well,
There you are. Okay. You just turn your camera on and I have your audio on. You're good to go.
Yeah, all right.
You're good otherwise?
Yeah, I just have to get caught up. That's all.
Okay, that's all right. And I'm just going to put you on mute for a moment. And you know that you can always unmute yourself, right?
Yes.
Okay. And just remember, you can take this class as many times as you wish. So I always encourage people, come back for more, be a frequent flyer. I love to see my frequent flyers in class. And so that's how you can do that virtual hand raise. The other thing that we can do, and Jesse, did you have a question or are you practicing your hand raise, your virtual hand raise? You can just unmute yourself if you have any questions. All right. Thomas, how about you? Do you have a question or are you just practicing?
Yes, you said that we can come back as often as we like. Does that mean you'll be doing this regularly, weekly?
Yes, we have beginner Zoom classes every week, a few times. I teach them a few times a week. We have some other instructors who also teach beginner Zoom. So, yep, keep coming back for more.
All right, let me lower my hand.
Okay. Barbie, how are you doing? Do you have any questions? You have your hand up. You're good. Okay. Do you, Barbie, are you okay to unmute yourself? Okay. You're still unmuted, so. Okay, there you go. Barbie, did you have any questions?
No, but I have my hand lowered. Okay. Say lower hand, so I did. Do I need to click on it?
You need to click on lower hand.
Okay.
Now you've lowered it. Okay.
Okay. So
you're good.
All right.
Great. Ta-da! Good job. So I'm going to go ahead and mute you. All right. So that's raising, lowering hands. Let's talk a little bit about using the other reactions So if you're on a laptop or desktop, when you click on the reactions button on your Zoom control bar, you will see some additional icons there. If you're on a tablet or a smartphone, on your Zoom control bar at the top, if you tap on your More button, the one that has the 3 dots, you will also see about 6 icons. You look like there's a clap hands, there's a thumbs up, there's a heart, there's someone laughing, a surprise look, maybe fireworks. Those icons are also called emojis, just another fancy word. And what you can do is when you click on one of them, that icon will be placed on your video display screen, on your little square there. So for those of you who may only see 2, Calvin, how are you doing? Question.
I was trying to find the reaction. You mentioned something about a reaction button.
Yeah, Calvin, are you on a PC today, on a laptop?
Yes.
If you look at the bottom of your screen on your Zoom control bar, you may have to wiggle your mouse a little bit. On the right-hand side, do you see a button that has the word reactions? It's a smiley face with a plus sign.
I don't see no. Nope.
We don't have.
You don't have one?
No.
He answered it.
Neither.
Okay, by any chance, do you know if you're on a Chromebook?
Yes.
All right, if you're on a Chromebook, Calvin, then you won't have a reactions button. Some devices just work a little bit differently than others. So for you, you won't have a reactions button.
Okay.
So you're just going to relax and enjoy the show for the next few minutes. Sorry about that one, but that's what's happening. Okay. Let me know if you also can't find your reactions button, or if you don't, when you tap on the More button. Florine, do you not see any?
No, I don't have one.
Are you
I
on
have
a,
more buttons.
Use your arrow.
say that again, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I have a More button, but all I see under More is disable video receiving and about.
Okay, are you on a Chromebook as well? Do you know?
I guess so. It's IdeaPad.
Are you, so where is your Zoom control bar? Is it at the bottom of your screen or at the top?
At the bottom.
At the bottom. Okay, so if you don't have a reactions button, you got to your raise hand by going to your participant screen. Okay,
Yes.
it's possible that you don't have the you don't have access to this feature as well.
Okay.
So sorry about that. It's just different devices have enabled different Zoom features.
Yes.
So at any rate, for those of you who do have your reactions button, or if you tap on your More button and you do see these additional icons, that, you know, thumbs up, clapping hands, and the heart, when you click on those, it will display on your video display screen. Now, unlike the raised hand, these icons, these emojis, only stay on your screen for about 5 seconds. And I know some folks are thinking, well, what do I use these for? It's another way of interacting with participants and the host. So for example, maybe a participant is saying something in the meeting that you really like, and you want to applaud them, giving them a clap hand or a thumbs up or a heart, or, you know, you can use one of these reactions to give them feedback without unmuting yourself, maybe interrupting them. Or the host may say, hey, everybody, if you just understood what I said or liked what I said, you know, give me a thumbs up. And you can do this, or you can go to your reactions button and just click on the thumbs up. And I know for some of us, you know, I've had people in past classes where they'll say to me, what is with like the clapping hands and the thumbs up and the heart? What is this stuff? And you have to think about, well, who's been working on Zoom these past few years? I mean, we're on it now, but historically, it's been younger generations, younger people who've been on Zoom calls. And how do they, you know, communicate with each other? Through these emojis. And so that's why it's here. It's optional. You know, you may decide to use them or not, but it's just another way of interacting with people during a Zoom call. So I just wanted to make sure people understood. Nancy, do you have a question? I see your hand raised. Yeah, you can feel free to unmute yourself. You're still muted. And another quick way, if you're on a laptop or a PC today, if you're muted, a quick way to unmute yourself, a little fancy, and you can't do this on a tablet or a phone, you can actually press and hold your space bar key, and that will temporarily unmute yourself. And then as soon as you release the space bar, it puts you back on mute. So again, if you've muted yourself, if you press and hold your space bar, it will unmute your microphone. And then as soon as you release your space bar on your keyboard, it mutes you. So at any rate.
I mean, I have the question.
Yeah.
Why do I have 4 people here and I have to keep moving instead of me being in the lower right? Why am I in the...
Nancy, what type of device are you on today?
I'm
Are you on a
my
phone?
Android.
You're on your Android phone? Okay, I'm going to talk about that next. We're like actually going into talk about views. Great question.
Can I ask a question?
Sure, Dolores.
How come I can't see nobody?
What do you see right now?
Just figures, white figures.
White figures. Okay, Dolores, what type of a device are you on?
Tablet.
A tablet. Okay. Well, let's talk about views next, and maybe I can help you with this. So what I was going to talk about is how you can change your view when you're in a Zoom meeting. So you have 2 different views. One is called the gallery view and one is called the speaker view. If you're in a gallery view, what that enables you to do is to see everyone's little video screen on one screen. I also call that the Hollywood Squares view, because as a kid I used to watch Hollywood Squares and it just reminds me of that. So that's the gallery view where you can see all the other participants' screens, video screens on the same screen. The other view is what we call speaker view. And when you're in speaker view, you'll see the speaker, for example, me, you'll see me in a much larger video screen and the rest of the participants in really small video screens towards the right or sometimes above me. So how do you switch back and forth? And it depends on the device that you're on. So let's start with a laptop. If you're on a laptop or a desktop, a PC today, what you'll do is you'll go to the upper right-hand corner of your Zoom window, and you're going to see a view button. It has a grid next to it. So again, this is laptops or PCs. If you click on that view button, there's a menu that drops down, and you'll see speaker view, gallery view, or full screen. So if you're on the gallery view right now, there'll be a check mark next to that or if you're on the speaker view, there'll be a check mark next to that. So if you want to switch views, all you need to do is click on a different view. So again, clicking on that view button in the upper right-hand corner, and then in the menu, just selecting either speaker view, gallery view, and you can practice just going back and forth. If you're on a tablet today, on the left-hand side of your tablet, under the switch camera icon, you will see another another icon that says either switch to gallery view or switch to active speaker view. And when you tap on an icon, it will switch you to a different view. So if you're currently on the speaker view, that icon will read switch to gallery view, and you tap on that. And then you can just tap on switch to active speaker view to go back and forth. Now, if you're on a smartphone today, what you'll need to do is when you swipe left on your smartphone, that will move you from the speaker view into the gallery view. Now, on a smartphone, you can only see 4 participants at a time on your screen. What you'll need to do is keep swiping left on your smartphone to view more participants. And then if you ever wanted to get back to the speaker view, you would just keep swiping to the right until you returned to the speaker view, where you would just see me on your screen. And so I'm hoping that helps. Hopefully everyone has had a chance to switch back and forth between the speaker view and the gallery view. And it really depends on the device that you're on. So Nancy, it looks like you're having.
Yeah. When I can't get just you on the screen, I can only keep getting 4.
You're getting 4. If you swipe right, what's happening?
I see me.
Okay, you don't see me at all?
No.
And you're on a Galaxy, Nancy?
Yes. Samsung Galaxy. I see you at the bottom.
Okay.
I want it the other way around.
I don't see nobody.
Okay, Dolores, I'll see if I can help you. Nancy, when you swipe right, what's happening for you?
I see me big and you small.
Okay, what happens when you tap on me on my picture? What happens?
Oh, that's the way I want it, like that. So that's what I do?
Yes, you just tap on my picture and then all of a sudden I become the larger.
Oh.
We got you. All right, yay.
Yay.
Dolores, I'm sorry, you're not seeing anything?
Not anything.
All right. Dolores, are you okay just to stay a little bit later after class ends, so maybe I can work with you to see if we can?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So just hang out and we'll chat after class.
Okay.
All right. Anybody else having problems with their viewing? It looks like we were able to have some success getting into different views. And the reason why you might want to go into speaker view is because let's just say you're on a Zoom call and there are a lot of participants and the host or the speaker is demonstrating something on their screen. If you're in gallery view, what Zoom does is it makes everyone's little video display pretty teeny to squeeze everybody in. If you're on a tablet, you can see up to 16 participants on a screen. You might also have to swipe left to see more participants. If you're on a laptop, you can see up to 49 participants. But what that means is everyone's little video display, including the host, is going to be really small. And it can be very difficult to see what they're showing on their screen. that's when you want to switch into speaker mode or speaker view. So then the speaker's video screen becomes a lot larger, and it's much easier to see what they're showing on their screen. And so that is when you would want to move into to speaker view. All right, Miriam, unfortunately, we're not talking about virtual backgrounds today. I'm sorry. We do have another class that talks about virtual backgrounds. And so check out that Zoom class. I'm sorry if you were like waiting for the very end, my apologies. And we are up on the hour. I cannot believe it, but it is true. Just a few things I wanted to cover, just to sum up what we've been talking about today. This is a beginner Zoom class, so hopefully people are comfortable turning your cameras on and off. I think everyone was able to do that. The same thing with your microphone, muting, unmuting, learning how to open up the chat and send messages. Working with our virtual raising hand and lowering hands and the reactions, and also renaming ourselves on the participant screen and even inviting others to our Zoom meeting. And that is going to do it for class today. I want to thank you so much for joining me. Also, if people are having any trouble trying to figure out how to sign up for other Zoom classes, feel free to just stay on for a couple of minutes. I'll be happy to help you with that, because we have a lot of great classes that we're offering. And other than that, I just want to wish you all a great rest of your day, wherever you are, maybe your evening. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon for me. I hope to see you at other classes. And if this is something, if you've been enjoying our classes, our social hours, or our interest groups, let others know about it. If there are friends or family that you think would really benefit or enjoy our classes, share with them, let them know. We've changed our website recently so that it makes it really easy to share classes with others. And Loretta, you have a great question. Is there an intermediate class which shows how to do virtual backgrounds? Let me go ahead and share my screen for a moment so I can show you something. I'm just going to share my screen. And let's go over here. I'm on the getsetup.io site. I'm on our Get Setup site. And let me just bring this up a little bit. I'm on the home screen. If I click on search classes and groups, I'm just going to type out Zoom here. And when I do that, you'll see that we have a number of Zoom classes. I would say some next classes, we have creating custom virtual backgrounds, but we also have Zoom's whiteboard annotations. And I think it might be breakout sessions. Let me see if I can find another one. We do have Zoom virtual backgrounds for beginners. So yes, you might probably want to take Zoom virtual background for beginners. We also have how to look like a superstar on Zoom. That has to do with some lighting and setting up your background and so forth. So hopefully, Loretta, that helps. I'm going to stop sharing. And let me know if there are any other questions. Otherwise, goodbye, everyone. It was great to see you.
Bye.
You can click on the big red leave button to leave the class. And I hope to see you in other sessions. I'm just
Thank you. This was very informative. Thank you.